I'm very pleased to be making a video to promote my latest publication, a booklet on Brunel. I have a massive book due to be printed in the summer, composing 333 pages, 210 photographs, 11 maps. It'll be quite an expensive book. However, as I learned with the Sir Francis Drake series, if people don't want to buy hundreds and hundreds of pages of information, a lavish book, they want a brief read at an affordable price, a booklet is a supplement. And this Brunel book was inspired. I saw a regional biography on Brunel in booklet format, £4. I looked at it, I thought there's so much missed out. And there's contemporary pictures in the booklet, they're not even sourced. So I thought, I will do better, because there's a man who told me in the 70s, if you're going to criticise, you put something in its place. So what I've done, I've extracted elements out of the big book to put into a booklet. And I've come up with a natty title, I.K. Brunel, the nuts and bolts. Now the nuts and bolts is what engineers will work with. And also nuts and bolts means a brief outline. And my neighbour inserted a sense of humour, and I wrote, I hope the readers will find this book riveting. It's an expensive, high quality booklet because I've spent over £2,500 on licensing pictures and paying for maps. And in this booklet of 44 sides, there are, I think, 7 Brunel portraits, which could be the entire collection of the photograph portraits. Another item which is unique is I've mapped Brunel's movements around the British Isles and London, and you can see 4 portraits here in chronological order. And as I go through the booklet, I'm the only Brunel author, and this might be a big surprise to you, to actually show a complete map of Brunel's railway kingdom. So we've got an introduction, an overview of his life, and although the text from this book is pretty similar to the big book, a lot of the pictures are unique to this book. And one picture which you won't see in any Brunel book is this locomotive Invictus at the Whitstable Museum, because Brunel rode this train drawn by this locomotive Invictus. He actually rode the locomotive between Whitstable and Canterbury when he was measuring inclines as a precursor to his design of the box tunnel. And here you got an unusual picture where his fiancée lived in Kensington, London, plus Brunel's railway going through Bath, going underneath the Georgian buildings. Now, tabulating the itinerary of a genius. This is what comprises most of this booklet and forms a big part of the large book. When you read a Brunel biography, there's a chapter on ships, railways, locomotives, tunnels, bridges, Crimean War. But during the reading of those chapters, you don't know where Brunel is. So what I've done, I've invented a way of telling a story. Each of these cells is a year running from January to December. And this table, which has got all the years boldly stamped in, goes right through his life, and you can see on some years he's busier than others, especially in the 1840s. And up to 1844 I've captured the pictures to match the tabulated cells so far. And there's some very unusual pictures in here, because you've got places like the Anetheum Club in Pall Mall, which Brunel's a member, Plymouth Breakwater that he inspected, Blaise Castle where he met the committee for the Clifton Bridge design, the Stump, the tallest church tower in England, which Brunel climbed. You've got Park Street in Westminster where Brunel lived, There's the Staple Hill Tunnel in Gloucester, the shaft that Brunel descended. You've got the shortest tunnel he ever built, which was at Twerton. And then you've got a hidden gem at the Holcombe Viaduct south of Dawlish. So I've got pictures that have never appeared in any other Brunel book or booklet. And at the end we've got pictures to catch up with the rest of his life, which include a block of flats which was a former hotel in Willerton in Somerset. And it was only going online to the West Somerset Railway website that I found out that Brunel was in here having an embryonic meeting with local rich people who wanted to build a railway line between Taunton and Watchet and eventually to Minehead. And then here you've also got Brunel's site of his retirement home. Now we have an appendix, but when you've got the nuts and bolts into your title, the appendix is called Bolt-on Facts. And at the end of the booklet, I've been to Egypt because Brunel drew this picture and I photographed it, and you can see he did an excellent job. Even the chip on the plinth on the top right corner is depicted in his drawing, and it's still there today. So you got the last page is called the Monumental Brunel, which could be a title for anybody's forthcoming biography, because the Monumental Brunel could apply to his personality and to his achievements. And this is the blurb, which I must read to you. There are other Brunel biographical booklets, but this one is unique. In addition to the standard overview, Michael Turner has tabulated the Brunel story in succinct chronological order, comprising 824 fast facts alone. Furthermore, and surprisingly, this is the first booklet to include maps of Brunel locations. Hence, this volume reveals contextual geographical Brunel knowledge. Interestingly, the least known of Brunel's works and his movements feature. The Brunel fieldworker, scholar and armchair traveller alike will enjoy this publication that encapsulates Brunel's life. This engineering and landscape gardening achievements, personality, financial dealings, family life and travels are all at a colourful glance. This booklet contains 38 pictures, 2 maps, coupled with a record amount of standard and lesser known facts. Never was so much pictorial and written information incorporated on so few pages with no expense spared in its production. It is Brunel on point throughout. What makes this booklet different is because I went to the archives at the SS Great Britain and thumbed through Brunel's office diaries and wrote down lots of his appointments, so you can actually see for the first time in any book the context of Brunel's life, just how busy he was per day. I'm very pleased that this booklet is stocked at some fabulous Brunel locations, such as the Brunel Museum at the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Furthermore, it's at the Steam Museum in Swindon and the Railway Centre at Didcot. Sales are pretty good. By that I mean they're selling at least 2 copies a week, which is better than the sale of more expensive books. And I have a landing page called michaelturnerpublications.co.uk, which lists 8 books and 4 booklets which will be in print this year. And I'm very pleased that I received an email from Samuel Johnson in Sydney, Australia. Good eye, mate. He came across my work as a result of him being a Brunel scholar. He said, "Hi Mr. Turner, I'm interested to learn that you have a Brunel book and booklet for sale. I'm a massive Brunel fan and would love to purchase these, as I have followed pretty much all your Brunel videos on YouTube and have been eagerly awaiting the publication. I'm based in Sydney, Australia, and wondered if it would be possible if you could ship to Oz. Please let me know the cost of postage. P.S. You taught me at Wyvern Secondary School. Many thanks, Sam Johnson." And I racked my brains, and I do remember the Johnson brothers. So I'm very, very pleased, because this is one of those events in life where you receive a surprise email that you're really thrilled to read, a bolt out of the blue. And he said in his reply to my reply, I'm very interested in IKB and many of the books I've got about him, which include about his garden. That's the one that Geoffrey Tudor wrote about Brunel down in Torquay, which is a fantastic microcosm of Brunel, because when you look at Brunel books, there's a general, then there are regional, but that one dealing with Brunel down in Torquay is minuscule, but it's got a fantastic amount of personal information in there. Now, my Brunel research started in November 2019. I've covered 32,000 miles to write the booklet and book. I've been to India, Egypt, Italy, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Ireland, England and Wales. So if you wish to buy this booklet for just £6, you'll find it fantastic value and a good read, and it's highly accurate, because I'm very lucky that the #1 Brunel scholar in the country, Stephen Jones in South Wales, who wrote Brunel in South Wales volumes 1, 2 and 3, has gone through my work to give me some improved engineering vocabulary, made sure that all my facts were correct, and my biggest achievement was giving Brunel equal weighting geographically. By that I mean, for example, I haven't skimped about Brunel in South Wales. All the other authors mention the main line from Gloucester to Milford Haven, but I've gone up into the land of the valleys and photographed the scant remains, such as a cast iron trough to carry a stream across the railway line, some viaducts and track beds. I don't speak Welsh, the names were a problem, but I managed to write in accurately all about Brunel in South Wales, thanks to Stephen Jones. I hope that you will go to Michael Turner on YouTube plus Brunel to watch the videos. And if you do purchase this booklet off the landing page, michaelturnerpublications.co.uk, or at the Brunel stockists that I've mentioned, I'll be pleased to hear from you.